Tomorrow we'll be observing Memorial Day, and we thought it only fitting that we would take a little bit of time to remember the veterans and people who have served in our active service for the United States. And with us today is Mike Barker. Mike Barker's been attending Swan Lake for a few years now, and he's been part of the U.S. military, specifically the Navy. Thanks for being interviewed today.
You're welcome.
Mike, if you would tell us, first of all, just a little bit about how long you've been coming to Swan Lake.
I think we've been coming here for 4 years or so. David and Missy Lowe invited us, and then we started coming. And then I think I quit coming for about a year, and then needed to pull my head out of you-know-what, and I needed to come. I need to come for myself.
Mike, would you tell us a little bit about your military service?
Well, I joined the Navy in January of '88. Went to boot camp in San Diego. And then spent, I don't know, whatever boot camp was, a couple months long. And then went to a firefighting school up in San Francisco on Treasure Island. And spent 2-3 months there, learning how to fight fires in enclosed spaces and know what it's like to move around in a really tight quartered place when you're full of tear gas and there's snot run out of your nose and your eyes are burning and it feels like you're gonna puke because you can't breathe, and climbing up and down ladders and pushing you to your limit.
And so that was your training.
For firefighting.
For firefighting, right? And so then you went on to active service.
We went home for leave for a couple weeks, and then you got assigned a ship. And my ship happened to be a destroyer, the USS Thorn, and their home port was in Charleston, South Carolina.
And how many years did you actually spend at sea?
3.5.
3.5 years. And tell us a little bit about what it's like to live on a ship.
For the first year, it's really good. You learn a lot. You do so many different things. It's so many big shipyards and so many other big ships and people that you just, a boy from Minnesota, you don't see. Just even the big town of living in Charleston. And then getting used to the heat and the humidity down there about drive you crazy, but you got used to it.
Well, Mike, we really want to thank you for your military service. We appreciate all you've done for our country. We'd like to know a little bit more about your faith. And would you please tell us when you first became a Christian? Was it before the military or was it after the military? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think I really first became a Christian after the service. When I had gotten out, I was raised Catholic, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't fit in. Had to go to Catholic school when I was raised, and you had to go to church every Sunday, which is fine. It was Mom and Dad's house, and there were rules, so you did it. But I just couldn't quite understand it. I never got it until I had gotten out of the service and was really probably searching for something on what to do. And I'd gotten out and I'd went over by Dallas, Texas, to visit a buddy I was in the Navy with. And he invited me to church. And we went to some Baptist church, but it was so alive with the people in there and the singing, and everybody was just like, oh, who are you, and just ga. And it's like, made you feel good.
It drew you to church.
It did.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
But the only trouble is I only stayed down there a couple weeks before I headed home. Well, then I headed home, and then I kept going to church. And then I don't know what happened, probably just my thick fat head, and I quit. Then I quit going to a church until David and Missy.
And so David and Missy Lowe invited you to Swan Lake.
Yes.
And tell us what is it that drew you back to Swan Lake more than just one time?
There's just so much that I need to learn, and it gives me peace when I do come, and then I leave. You know, it makes you feel good. It really does. Yep.
Mike, can you tell us a little bit about how Christ is making a difference in your life today?
He makes a difference every day. I'm not quite sure anything in specific. I know he helps me deal with my life problems. In guiding me every day on decisions that I make, either whether it's for work or with my wife or with the kids.
Mike, of course, Memorial Day is a time to remember those who've actually fallen in combat. It can be a difficult time for people, family members or brothers in arms who have actually lost someone in combat. And so how can we as a church wrap our arms around them, pray for them? How can we serve our veterans and those who come back and those who have really lost someone and are remembered on this day, Memorial Day?
I think a good start would be to go to a VA hospital and actually talk with a vet, hear their story, listen to them, listen to what they have to say, and pray for them right there in front of them.
Mike, we really want to thank you for your service to our country. We wouldn't have the freedoms that we do have without people like you who've actually served and given of themselves. And to all our veterans who have ever served, we want to thank you as well. We are a blessed country, and the only reason that we are able to worship here every Sunday morning is because we've had people who have laid down their lives and given the ultimate sacrifice. And we want to remember them on this Memorial Day. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.